When Kagura first meets Sesshomaru, she was already checking him out as her fluffy knight in shiny armor. Kagura being Naraku's incarnation does bring its own complications. Her deal here was that her fate was linked to Naraku's, as he held her life in his hands, literally. Sesshomaru and Kagura's relationship is mainly fired off by Kagura needing someone to assassinate Naraku and free her from her chains. When she first betrays Naraku, she brings a jewel to Sesshomaru and tries to bargain with him. She will let him have a jewel shard in exchange. He kills Naraku. Sesshomaru tells her to do it herself if she wants to be free. She curses him out and flies off, leaving Ren and Jaken both shocked. Shocking to us as well, as this would normally result in someone being murdered. So a big thing within the fandom is whether she actually loved him or not. Funny enough, Ren is the first person to actually suggest this idea that Kagura was in love with Sesshomaru, mainly due to her complimenting him and talking about how strong he is and that he's the only one strong enough to defeat Naraku. Jaken thinks Ren is a naive child for thinking so, as he thinks Kagura is just trying to butter up Sesshomaru. So it isn't 100% clear if Kagura is in love with Sesshomaru. I will say she is attracted to him. You can look at her first time actually seeing him. She does mention the fact that he is very handsome. So we have an initial view of how Kagura feels about him, but what does Sesshomaru think of her? Now, I can't say Sesshomaru has any romantic feelings toward Kagura, but this is the woman who kidnapped Ren, but nothing was ever really done. Sesshomaru cared enough to silence Jaken when he was going to spill the beans in front of Moriyomaru that Kagura assisted with intel. This is evidence for, over the course of the series, he kind of developed a caring nature for her. Now, to fast forward, upon Kagura's death, Naraku finds Kagura after her betrayal, but something's troubling Sesshomaru. He catches Naraku's scent, and he dashes off. Naraku gives Kagura her heart and fatally wounds her. He then allows her to be free. Assuming she was going to die alone, looks up and sees Sesshomaru standing there. He mentions he smelled Naraku's miasma. Kagura became saddened by his remark. She assumed his words to be quite frank and says he must be disappointed to have found her, but Sesshomaru reveals that he knew it was Kagura's scent after all. So Sesshomaru passes up on killing Naraku's heart. Sesshomaru then passes up on even fighting Naraku and goes immediately to Kagura. We get a look at what Sesshomaru smelled via cutaway to InuYasha, who could smell Kagura bleeding, and he knew she was in trouble. Sesshomaru, having the more keen sense of smell, picked up on it first. He not only knew she was hurt badly, he came with the intent on saving her with Tenseiga. I'm just going to assume that Tenseiga couldn't save her due to her not having a body by the time she would actually have passed away. Kagura dies with a smile on her face. You would assume will be done, but Kagura's impact on Sesshomaru is pretty immense. So let's talk about it. Now, as much as I love the adaptation Final Act, they got some things wrong. Final Act Episode 2 combines events from chapters 365, 374, and 403. Like, the fight between Moriyomaru and Sesshomaru actually combines two different fights into one. So in the manga, this fight takes place after Kagura's passing. While fighting Moriyomaru, Sesshomaru failed to break Moriyomaru's armor. They were evenly matched, and Sesshomaru's blasts were only strong enough to cancel out the adamant spears. But as soon as Moriyomaru makes a smug remark about Kagura's passing and how she died in vain, InuYasha says not another word, but before he can even do anything, Sesshomaru steps in and summons enough power to crack Moriyomaru's armor. Moriyomaru's comment angered Sesshomaru. And I'm not referring to him getting upset based off some pride. I'm talking, this is more akin to Naraku insulting Kikyo in front of InuYasha. Sesshomaru launches himself at full force, blinded by rage. I should also note that this chapter's title is called Wrath, and this is so out of character for him. This isn't a calculated strike, this is led solely on emotions. Everyone who witnessed his mood shift comment on the fact that he didn't see himself. Moriyomaru comments on his emotional state and asks if he had compassion for Kagura. Okay, so here's the big picture. For someone as cunning as Sesshomaru, he doesn't normally put himself in position to get hurt. Sesshomaru doesn't pull his sword out. It breaks and it nearly cost him his life. He's then caught in Moriyomaru's diamond claws. Good thing he had Tenseiga to act as a barrier, allowing him to buy enough time for Kikyo and InuYasha to step in and save him. Again, he nearly died, and he lost his prized sword, Tokijin. Canonically speaking, this is the first time he's actually felt anger or sorrow for another. Tenseiga reacts to the change in Sesshomaru's heart, which results in him gaining a new ability, Metals and Getra. Sesshomaru states that he's the one who will decide if Kagura's death is in vain. See, I already know what you guys are asking. What about Rin? Alright, I got something for you. Oh, yeah, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. You know, the usual.